Like the COVID-19 situation or the weather. We just like 2 weeks ago we got our first case, and as soon as we got our first case, everything kind of shut down. Yeah.
Okay. So they didn't waste any time at all then.
Which is a good thing because our numbers are not like climbing as fast as everywhere else has.
Okay.
Yep. But I'm an essential
worker. I thought you were in like Miami or something. I don't know why I thought you were in Miami. I don't know why I thought that. I would have never guessed Anchorage. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm from California, so it's.
Yeah, what time is it there, Gary?
It's like 3 hours difference, maybe.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock here.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock,
so it's nice and early.
Okay. What part of California?
Sacramento.
Okay, I'm from Fresno.
Oh, that's where I live.
Okay. Yeah. So real close.
Yeah, just a couple hours.
Cool.
Yes.
What part of Sac were you from?
South Sac, the gutter, South Sacramento.
the gutter. I lived there for like 17 years.
I'm sorry.
I had a motorcycle shop in. I said I had a motorcycle shop in Carmichael for like 17 years there.
Okay, that's cool. I know where that is.
Are we live?
All right, come on, computer. Yes, we are. I'm trying to get to the point where I can. Does somebody want to share the link on Facebook?
How do we do that?
Happily would.
I'll do it from my phone.
I don't know how to do that. This is actually my first live, to be honest.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great. Stay right there.
I haven't started sweating yet.
Yeah, just move. Don't move from that seat until it's over.
All right, go to my channel.
I'll just copy the link into the.
Yeah.
So everybody actually has 2 fragrances that they want to talk about? Because
I don't.
If not, we got some extras.
I can grab a few. Yeah, I was just ready to wing it, but yeah, I'll grab a few.
You got to turn the sound off of that.
I just found my second one now.
Did you?
Yeah.
So we've got 5 people. Let's see. We've got New York Fragrances in the house. Solano's here. Fragadict is here. We've got Erica Scott.
How do you see music?
Oh, live comments.
How come I can't see it?
I did it right. I'm an old. There we go.
How come I can't see it? Yeah, Erica Scott.
Turn your sound down.
Okay.
All right. Let's see the comments. All right.
Welcome.
Where? I want to share that. That's what I want to do. And I want to share that to Facebook.
Yo, Jay, how big is your house?
Oh, it probably looks big because you see all the movement and the shadows and the light. It's not big at all.
I'm in the West Wing now.
No, this is a 1-bedroom apartment. And you're seeing most of it. But I mean, it's spacious enough.
Not the same.
The biggest place I've ever lived in, but nothing huge.
Right.
Oh, Mark, I see you, bro.
Too funny, Mark.
Hey, we have Rob 8 in the house. How you doing, Rob? We have Charles in the house. I'm just trying to say hi to the people that are popping in.
Yeah, no, this is cool. Charles,
there we go. Redolessence.
What's up, Charles?
Titan Fragrances. That's my boy right there.
Joe.
It's all hiding what she said. Oh.
Right.
So I want to take a minute as we start and say thanks to everybody that has taken the time to hang out with me here on OutLaw Frags for the next 2 hours. What we're going to basically do, most of us have got basically 2 fragrances that we want to talk about, bring a little light to in this conversational ring that we got going on, and then we're just gonna wing it after that. Hey, it looks, what's up? Good smelling bunch. I hope so. Because we're sitting, when you spray that, when I walked out my living room, I could smell that all the way
What,
out
that,
there.
really?
Yeah. He brought this over, which is YSL Fresh. He's not really impressed with it. I really like it. It smells amazing to me. So, Steve, what is the newest updates on the, what did you say? I think you said you got 3 more fragrances that are going to be released here real soon.
That's right. Yeah. It's been a lot of work. Obviously, with this global pandemic, a lot of things are being affected by it in a negative way. As I'm sure you know, a lot of the retail stores that the brand is carried in, like Perfumology or Oswald or Lucky Scent in the very near future, they have closed their doors, unfortunately. So they're not going to be able to make any sales at their brick and mortar location. But fortunately, their e-commerce is still up and running. So we're kind of relying on that. But it's still going pretty well. I mean, at least I'm hoping that fragrance brings people a lot of comfort during these times, because I know it's quite scary not being able to leave the house and you're cooped up and domestic abuse is on the rise. And
Oh, yeah, right.
I hope people are turning to fragrance to satiate their
yeah, along those
concerns,
lines, I've been seeing, I don't know if you guys have seen any comments on your videos. I have been seeing some subscribers saying, like, fragrance shouldn't be a priority right now. You guys should just take a back seat with the videos. Like, we shouldn't be worrying about this. And it's like,
I've heard that.
I don't know. I feel like, as Stephen had just said, it's, in some ways, it's kind of like an escape, from everything that's going on outside in your life. I totally disagree with that. I don't know if you guys have seen any comments like that.
I have, yeah. I've seen a few. I think there's a balance. I think it's one thing to talk about a fragrance and say, hey, when you have the opportunity, when all of this is in the rearview mirror, please go out and check this one out. But I think it would be a little bit tone deaf and irresponsible to say, yes, I know you don't have the money to make rent, but you have to blind buy this $400 fragrance. It's amazing. Yeah, like I don't think anybody is saying that. So I think we're good there. Yeah.
Yeah, balance. That is the right way to put it. Totally.
In retrospect, when I look at it, I look at the fact that at least we bring. I really think that us in the fragrance community still need to keep doing what we're doing, because it gives people an outlet to get away from everything for a minute, to watch, a 5-minute review, or like I've got some massive half-hour reviews. It gives you a chance to get away from everything for a minute and focus on something that's not as, what would you say, depressing. I mean, that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I got time on my hand because I have no job. They had closed down my job, so I am unemployed.
Sorry to hear that. That's
it's rough.
So we got a question. Where did it go? Somebody was asking what all of our cinema days were, and it disappeared.
Christian, you were going to say something. I saw you.
Yeah,
you're ready to go.
It was more so if it's like anywhere else you look right now, they're talking about the pandemic. They're talking about the death tolls, how many people are getting sick, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's something that we need to know right now. Me personally, being somebody who works in a hospital, I don't want to hear about that when I get home. It's kind of my sanctuary. I want to get home. I want to just kind of forget about what's going on throughout the day. I got to go back to it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I get home, if I throw on something for a fragrance video or something just to kind of get my mind off of it, like you said, James, everything is so oversaturated with that right now, and for good reason. But it's good to have something else to kind of check into for a little while, just to kind of get your mind clear of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think everything's a little overwhelming for everybody at this point in time.
You have to adjust to a new normal.
Yeah.
Right.
That and our old normal, what life was, I don't think will ever return. Everything is just going to be like 9/11. Post pre 9/11 and post 9/11. I think that's going to be what we're going to see here in
Yeah.
our world.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, Anna, because you're being really quiet,
Sorry.
what is your scent of the day?
Today I was testing out gelato by Be Layered.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't last very long on me, but it is pretty awesome. So I probably sprayed myself like 5 times throughout the day. But
is someone of their like original?
yeah, it's one of their originals.
Okay, cool. What is this?
See, I'm not familiar with it. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It smells like ice cream and whipped cream. I think there's some floral notes in it, and it's a little citrusy, like upon first spray, but mostly like ice cream. Yeah, it smells good.
So it's a real heavy gourmand.
Mm-hmm. But like it's like a fresh gourmand, like perfect for spray.
Nice.
I know that the Gates makes a fragrance that smells like that, and for some reason I cannot remember the name of it right now. Do you know what it is, Steve? Off the top of your head?
The
Gates perfume makes a fragrance that smells like vanilla ice cream and a vanilla cone. I've got a whole bunch of samples from them, and I gave the one that smelled like that to my neighbor because she really liked it.
Yeah,
but it sounds like it smells really good.
The only one that I remember is called First Sight. That one, it had like a lemon sorbet kind of a note, but I don't remember vanilla being in there. I think it was like lemon sorbet and mint or something like that. But I'm gonna have to check it out. It sounds good.
So what are some of the other?
So what about you?
Neapolitan ice
What's your scent of the day, Steve?
So today, what am I wearing? Oh, I'm wearing Tokyo Blue by Chris Collins.
Oh, nice. Is that
I had to
a
think
newer
about that
one?
one. No, it's actually one of their older ones. I think it's the fragrance that he released prior to his Oud offering. I had a bottle in my possession for a while, and I would just like, I visited the studio today very briefly just to pick up some new fragrances because I've been kind of bored at home. And then I picked that one up, and I was like, yeah, this is a very nice sort of fresh release. Kind of smells a little bit like a body wash, but like a very expensive body wash. I know that's a weird descriptor, but it's actually a really pleasant scent. And my wife enjoys it, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about earlier before we started. He's married. I'm not. But we were talking about how most women don't like the fragrances men have in their collection. How many do you think your wife likes out of your collection? Because he's got a rather large collection.
6, maybe
5 or 6.
But her like I said, her nose is weird. Like I'll wear scent. Like, what are you wearing?
Nose, yeah.
And then like 3 weeks after that, I'll wear it again. And she'll be like, "Oh, you smell like an old lady, or you smell like an old man." I'm like, "I wore it like 3 weeks ago, and you said you loved it." It's just kind of like
it happens.
It's very.
And then Jay, what are you wearing today? What's your scent of the day?
Oh, sorry. I got a call. Just
That's okay.
you asked me. I was paying attention. No, I was paying attention. I got a call. What did you ask me?
The other Jay.
I asked you what your scent of the day is.
Yes, I did process that question. Yeah, generally when I work at the warehouse, I try to keep things pretty safe. But sometimes I'll take a risk. Today wasn't one of those days. Today I wore actually 3 a.m. by Sean John, which I actually just got yesterday. And I like it. It's really nice. It's kind of like in fact, I think I saw Steven, I think I saw your review of this a long time ago when you put it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost like a gin and tonic with a splash of coconut, at least at first.
Yeah,
very bright and citrusy. And as it dries, it gets kind of musky and creamy. I think there's maybe some like isoe soup or something in there, but it's great. I like it a lot. It doesn't project very much, but it lasts, maybe 7 or 8 hours. So
yeah,
that's what I wore today.
This is really good. Yeah. Have you ever tried layering this with any of the clones of Green Irish Tweed? This actually smells pretty good when you layer it with green Irish tweed too.
Is that 3 a.m.? I can't really tell.
Yep, this is 3 a.m. It's a tester. I don't have
Okay.
the top.
Okay. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't tried layering. I mean, yeah, I just got it yesterday. I tried it yesterday for the first time. I was digging it, so I decided to wear it out today. No compliments, but
yeah, for being a celebrity fragrance, it's actually pretty good.
I was surprised. Yeah, I really was surprised when I put it on. It was not what I expected. You know, not groundbreaking, but it's good. It made me happy.
And then my scent of the day today is I'm layering Cadillac. And that's Cadillac. I want to say this one's Intense and in Coupe, which I really like. And these are hard to find, but they're not very expensive. And they smell really, really good. I've got all three from the line.
I didn't realize Cadillac had fragrances, but why would they not?
Yeah.
Everybody else has one.
Yeah.
Everybody else has got one.
Yeah, Nissan has got fragrances, honestly.
I've heard.
Do they really?
I want to get the mini.
Yeah.
Yeah. It smells a little interesting. It's a little different.
Got some character.
Speaking of which, I even should be hearing about this.
There you go.
Some Lambos.
Oh, I haven't smelled any of Lambo's fragrances either. Yeah, I mean,
neither have I.
When it comes to car brands, like you have to blind buy, right? I mean, there's no other way to really, sample them.
Yeah.
Well, buy a $2 decant of, Ferrari, something like that. So
$1 for the 10 ml decant.
$15, yeah. Yeah.
But they got them on fragrance.
Frags out as well.
Mark, you're too kind. I see him. This comment.
Yeah, really.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's working. It's working, Mark. Well, we'll do a collab, and I'll say whatever you want me to say. Just write the script. I'll just.
There you go.
I'll be your voice slave.
You can do his voiceovers.
Yeah. No. I like Mark's voice. You got a great voice, Mark. Keep doing your thing.
And now he got the goatee or the beard going too.
Yeah, I don't got that. This is a life's work right here. I don't really grow facial hair, so.
You just gotta
have to shave.
What's that?
So you just gotta
have to shave their head.
Yeah, I don't shave. I do not shave.
Must be rough. I don't either.
I shaved this morning.
Yeah. You say you shaved this
I'm
morning?
a half of
Came right back.
5 o'clock shadow right here.
Yeah. Oh, shadow.
That's crazy.
That's 5 o'clock.
Steve grows a hell of a big beard too.
I was thinking of kind of growing it back now since we're in quarantine and everything.
Yeah. I distinctly remember a period of time when it was just like full on.
But they say it poses a hazard, right? Like the virus might actually get stuck in your beard. No, like I actually read that up.
That's why I wrote it down a little bit for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more of an issue with getting, if you're going to wear a mask, to get a mask to form over your face with your beard.
Sure.
And then as long as you ain't touching your face, you should be okay. I mean, you ain't dragging your face down the road in a dirty alley. You know what I mean? So you should be.
But it's so hard. Like you don't realize how much you touch your face until you're like purposefully trying not to.
So Hannah, how was your beard last year? Since we're all talking about beards.
Oh. I've never had one, but it comes in sometimes.
Are you married, Anna? Does your husband have a beard?
I am divorced.
Well, I guess that. That's kind of me too. So that's kind of a good thing in my eyes. So.
But my boyfriend does not have a beard. No.
No, he needs to step his game up then.
Yeah.
No. He's in the right place.
I don't think I've ever been with a man with a beard.
No. It's like having a dude with a reverse ponytail.
Do you use one of those special cups that keep your mustache out of your drink?
Oh no. Oh.
My dad had
Sippy
one
cups?
when I was a child,
Yeah.
but nah.
My boss used to use
Yeah, I think they're called sippy cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use straw a lot.
Hey, so I think I'm the only one that hasn't said my scent of the day.
Oh,
so.
let's go now. Come on, what you got?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Drop? Yes. Honestly, I've been
Hold
saying
up there for a second.
there it is.
Need a
There you
full
got
screen.
full screen. We need
Yeah.
that. Honestly, I've been
Yeah.
planning on getting that one. I've loved every decan I've ever had, and I need to just get it. I don't know why I haven't gotten it yet.
I
that's
hesitated
really
for so
good.
long, but I finally pulled the trigger on it. But now that I did pull the trigger, I pulled it twice. I bought 2 bottles, and I heard that it might have been reformulated. Does anybody know if that's true?
Oh, why would they do that?
Because
Yeah.
Oh, before you bought it or after you bought it? The 2.
that's a good question, but I don't know.
Have you experienced anything like fishy with them? Are they not performing?
Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Some people are saying that it may be only lasting about 3 to 4 hours or so.
What the heck?
Wow.
Yeah, I got
I
2 bottles.
mean, they didn't reformulate it. They dumped water into it. That's the only way. Yeah.
They watered it down. So I just take these to work with me.
Yeah.
Smart.
Make sure I re-up every 3 hours.
Okay.
Because
That's the only Mancera I
it's a
have.
beautiful juice, man. It's a beautiful
It is.
juice.
It really
Yeah, it really
is.
is.
I mean, it's a massive people pleaser too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know
Yes,
what
it
it
is.
is. The sillage of that stuff, just people cannot.
Yeah. I left the decant in my living room, and my wife came to bed after spraying it on. And she got in bed, and I was like, "What you got on?" And she goes, "I don't know. I found the decant in the living room." I was like, "You got my seed dry on?"
Yeah. It's
Smell good though. I was
we're
like,
not
I'm
sleeping
waiting
now.
tomorrow.
We're not going to sleep now.
Mom, if you're watching, we went to sleep.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
We tickled each other till we went to sleep.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's how that works. So Jay, what is your favorite sexy frag out of your collection? Like when you know you want to go out and spend some quality time, some sheet time, what is some of the ones that you pick for that?
Dang.
They're looking, thinking.
That has been changing a lot. Right now, as of like, I don't know, the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks, that fragrance is from the House of Argos. And I don't have it here in front of me. I have another one from them in front of me here, which is also great. And the bottle looks similar, but it's called Triumph of Bacchus.
I saw your review of that.
Yeah, that stuff is, I mean, it's intoxicating. It really is. At least for me. I haven't played the field with it or anything, so to speak. I haven't gotten any real feedback to say like, yeah, that is definitely intoxicating, not just to you. You know, to me, all I know is like, yeah, I love it. I can't stop smelling it. So it's hard for me to say like that's the one, but I'll say that I want that to be the one right now because I love it. It's really nice. It's really sweet. It's boozy. It's kind of earthy. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a gourmand, but again, it has the earthiness to it, and it has great performance. It just kind of lasts all night. It has good sillage, not super huge projection, which is fine. I think it's better that way, but it's nice. I dig it.
What about you, Steve?
So this is romantic or sexy
a new
fragrances?
since yeah, if you've got to pick a fragrance that you want to use for some serious sheet time.
Oh man. Well, in terms of, because I know JC was just talking about romantic fragrances, and I've always had this thing in my mind where, and I guess maybe it's subconscious, but I remember smelling The Sexiest Scent on the Planet Ever, IMHO, by Sarah McCartney, 4160 Tuesdays, London. and it has like a really smooth, sweet vanilla undercurrent, but it has like a really strong citrusy opening. So in my mind, that combination of like really bright citrus with like really sweet undertone is always it always comes across as like very romantic and sexy, I guess. And there are a couple other fragrances that I feel do that, and one of them is by Xerjoff, and it's called Lyra. And I love that fragrance.
I haven't put my nose on Lyra yet.
Yeah. And another one is by, I don't even know the name of the company, to be honest with you, but I think it's called La Danza delle Libellule.
From Nobile 1942.
There you go. Thank you.
I just got my nose on it the other day. Man, that stuff
isn't it great?
Blowing. Oh my gosh, it's like this creamy caramel apple. It's beautiful.
It's so good. It's so good.
I just have
apple,
a deep
vanilla. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I think it's technically marketed for women.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
it's so good. Whew,
it's not feminine at all.
Yeah,
had it been a little floral or whatever, I would have been like, okay, but no, it's totally unisex. It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that one.
I will too, honestly. I got my little 5 mil, and once I go through it, that's it.
What's the price point on that?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
If you gotta ask, it's too expensive.
I mean, it's probably. I would imagine it's close to 2. I'm not sure though. I haven't really checked.
I think it's between 1 and 2. I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
Those are good numbers.
So Anna, your turn. If you're gonna plan on a night of some serious sheet time between the sheets, what is it that you want to put on? This will be nice because it'll give us a view of a female's view.
I've never, I don't know. I've never really had to do that. Let's see.
I got skills. I ain't got to smell good.
I feel like all of my, basically my whole fragrance wardrobe is kind of sexy. So.
All right.
Like anything like chocolate gourmand would probably be one of them. Or today my 2 cents I chose was Armani Code Cashmere. That's kind of sexy, but I feel like that's like more badass sexy.
I hear good things about that.
It's great. It's great.
Okay.
And and then I just started wearing Olympia by Paco Rabanne. That's pretty sexy, but it's also like every day. So
okay.
I don't know. I couldn't choose for that. I don't think.
Well, like you said, you could choose anyone that you have, and it's really about how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
That's exactly the deal. Like, what about you, brother?
Man, this is gonna sound plain Jane, but my wife's favorite fragrance on me is Bleu de Chanel, the EDT. She absolutely
That's
loves
what does it for her and you?
Yep.
No surprise. Everybody loves
What about you, Chris? If you get ready to do some sheet time.
Hey, Ben.
That's smart.
Yeah. That way you don't talk out of turn.
What your woman likes.
If we wanted some extracurricular time, which one of these would do it?
Mula mula.
Oh.
Mula mula. I can see the.
I've talked about this so much, and people are always asking me what it smells like, where they can get it. And at the end of the day, she wears it more than I do. So.
I think I'm about to get that one.
She really likes it.
She loves it. She loves it. So I mean, I honestly, I would have picked this one.
Yeah.
And when I do wear it, people that know me know that I wear these 2 together.
Oh, is that by the fireplace?
By the fireplace and Mula Mula. When you layer these 2 together, you get the
fire, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's the good stuff.
I guess for me would be I don't know if any of you guys are very familiar with the House of Unique. It's basically it's a new house out of Turkey.
Yeah, I've heard
they
of
have
that.
one called,
They were at
They have
Sandwich
one-
Club.
They were, and I didn't get a chance. I was slack. Yeah.
They have one called Chocolate Makes Me Happy that is amazing.
That's the one I heard
Yeah,
about.
that was
Man. It's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kute that they have is really good. I've got their discovery set, man. It is, I have to say, it's the only house where I've had a discovery set where all of the fragrance in the discovery set smell really, really outstanding. Because normally there's like one or two duds in every discovery set, or there's just not a dud, but maybe it just doesn't, go with your jam. And everything I smelled from that company is amazing.
Yeah. There
that
was
was-
one that just smelled like straight alcohol. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, that's Kute. It has a note of whiskey. It's a lot of guys say that they can smell a boozy note in a fragrance. I don't know if it's just my olfactory system, but I don't pick up booze out of anything except for Kute. And it smells. You ever pick up a glass of whiskey and then just before you take a swallow, you smell it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it smells.
It smells exactly like a glass of whiskey.
Like
It doesn't
you
hang
just
around
spray it.
for a long, long time, but it smells exactly like a glass of whiskey. It's amazing.
So where would you wear that other than the bar?
That Kute, it actually smells really, really good. That opening note doesn't hang around forever. Because if it did, if you were driving your car, you're going to get a DUI.
Yeah.
Because it literally smells like
Absolutely.
booze. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't like, I've got CH Man Privé. Everybody says that's a real boozy smelling fragrance. When I smell that, I don't pick up booze. I pick up a ton of Tonka, and some spice, but I don't get booze out of it.
Yeah. I don't get a whole lot.
Yeah.
out of that.
Drinker.
Say that again.
It's like, are you a big drinker? You don't have to answer that though.
Am I a big drinker? No, actually, I work as a bar as a bouncer, and I drink every blue moon. So, you've been over twice. He's never seen me have a beer. I'm just not a big drinker.
Okay.
Drinking
Every blue moon also sounds like you drink a lot of beer too. But I know what you mean.
As a matter of fact, I do like blue moon. Have you guys ever heard of a loaded blue moon?
No. What is
No.
it?
Yeah, it's a blue moon. It's a beer, orange juice, and then peach schnapps on top of it. Now that's something I will,
That's
because it doesn't taste like brew.
I
It just
tried that.
tastes really, really good.
There used to be this bowling alley that turned into that dispensary.
Yeah.
Off Cash used to serve really good ones.
that sounds
I saw Anna's mouth moving, but I didn't hear anything come out of it.
I'm on Wi-Fi, so I don't think my
There we go.
connection is strong.
No, I can hear you.
I heard you.
Yeah.
I
It
heard you
glitched a
there.
little bit, but I heard you.
So,
Okay.
Steve, what's your favorite boozy fragrance? Because,
There's
like I
so
said, I don't smell booze in anything, so it'll be new to me.
I mean, yeah, there's so many. Oh my God. I really like Fan Your Flames by Nishane Istanbul.
Oh,
I guess if you're looking for like a cognac whiskey type of a scent, even
Yeah.
though it might not, there it is.
that's
You came prepared. That's amazing.
And I see somebody else just mentioned apple brandy.
Apple brandy is a
Stanley
good one too.
Tan.
apple
So good.
brandy. That one's good too.
That's
guess-
from
Stanley
Killian's, isn't it? Apple brand.
Killian,
Killian,
yeah. Also, Straight to Heaven by Killian. You
That
know,
one
that's
is-
one that I've been enjoying for a long time. Yeah.
That one's nice. I love that patchouli mixed
You
with
guys
the
are
fruits and the.
talking about fragrances that are so high above my pay grade.
I guess when it comes to boozy scents, though, I always like the ones that smell boozy but are sweet at the same time. Like the company Luban, they have a few that I really enjoy. I know the one that used to be getting talked about a lot is called Idole, Idole, but
Yeah.
they also have one that is like excellent. It's called Corrigan, and
Corrigan. That one is
so
nice.
good. I don't
Yeah.
remember if there's like a boozy ingredient in that one though. I'm actually
me-
looking it up now.
I think that one to me smelled like, this is gonna sound weird, like sweet smoky milk.
No, that makes
Yeah, that
sense.
sounds a little
I
weird.
totally get that.
Yeah. But I don't remember if there's booze in it, but there's something intoxicating about that one. That one is good. It's so strong.
It does smell milky. And yes, there's actually 2 boozy notes.
Okay.
There is cognac and whiskey.
Okay. Yeah, that one is nice. It's different. I dig it.
So,
And your flame is
Professor.
too. That one it's so unique.
Oh, there's the one Chris is smelling too. That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
Baraonda.
Steve, I got a question
I
for
was
you.
just about to say that. My little
Yeah,
son.
because you are the walking Rolodex of, yeah, that's nice. That's another one out of my pay grade. But hey, Steve, I got a question for you. What kind of aroma chemicals do they use to make the Accord to where it smells boozy? Or it smells like whiskey, or it smells like cognac? Because they can't distill that down to an essence, can they?
No, I don't think so. No, definitely not, actually. You know, I don't know. I know in the case of some fragrances, like the use of cinnamic alcohol kind of gives off like a little bit of a boozy vibe. I know a lot of times, especially in the case of like absinthe by Nasamato, I guess using that wormwood artemisia thing, or if there's ever some sort of a spice or herb that's used in the fermentation of that alcoholic spirit, like if they use that in a fragrance, then it can kind of remind people of a certain alcohol. Like I know if you smell licorice, it might remind somebody of like ouzo or sambuca or something like that. So that's always what comes to mind. But in terms of like, if there's like certain ingredients that are used frequently and like certain accords that are used in boozy fragrances, I'm really not sure. I can find out though.
Yeah, because that's something that's always interested me. You know.
That's
What
an
about you,
interesting
Anna?
thought.
What is your favorite boozy fragrance?
I don't have any boozy fragrances in my collection, but I did try Botawanda by Nasamato. And I feel like that one is like if Saint Nick was young and like lumberjackish and hot. And
So like me. What you're saying is like me, huh?
Exactly.
And then
Like
his hot wife would make some cookies in the kitchen. That's like what their house would smell like, and he would smell like. And yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever put in a mental, because that's a mental image. Santa Claus and sex.
you can't unsee
I
that.
guess it worked for me.
They just gotta get it too. Man.
Lumberjack.
Us big men got to get some love.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going there.
What's up, Jay? I'm not saying anything that I like didn't say when you met me in New York.
No, not at all. No, this is business as usual, man. It's all good. Yeah. Did you say something before that? Did you ask me something?
Me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you
It got real quiet
No,
now.
I
missed something.
yeah, I kind of got a lull in the conversation.
Oh, that's all
No,
right.
I was just asking. I was just saying that I'm not acting any way other than when you first met me in New York. I was the same way, wasn't I?
Yeah, again, you're you.
What were you saying in New York exactly?
I hope I mean. What's that, Anna?
I said, what were you saying in New York exactly?
We were there for Sin Explorer. Is that what you were asking about?
No, you said you're not
She's asking for
different.
details.
What you're saying.
I just, Chris talked over the top of you. I didn't hear either one.
Okay. I was just wondering what you were saying at Scent Explorer for you to have to explain yourself. That's what I was asking.
Oh, because I'm known for saying silly stuff off the cuff all the time. I have a zero filter when it comes to what I say.
She wanted the details.
Yeah.
You would have had to been there.
You're gonna get demonetized.
Assuming that this virus is long gone by next November, hopefully we can all create new memories at the next
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know they were
So,
already.
Steve,
Sorry.
no, please go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say I had heard that they were mentioning the next Sun Explorer. Do they know where they're gonna be having it yet?
I'm not sure, but Max probably knows.
I think he was the one who had
I don't
mentioned.
talk much with Max. What about you, Steve? Do you know anything?
No, no idea. I mean, I think a lot of places are kind of closed indefinitely. And I mean, they're going to have to bounce back once everything reopens. So I would imagine a lot of these places are going to start having events pretty quickly, you know, with a disclaimer that says, you know, we're amping up the cleaning and everything like that, just to make people try to instill some confidence in them, you know.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. Really tough times.
Yeah, and I will say that on the news, when you watch the news, they don't give much of an indication when all this is going to end either. It's just a continuous. Well, we're going to do this for another month,
People
for 2
would
more
just
weeks.
stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they would prefer that it keeps going because people keep watching the news, so they'll keep getting eyes on whatever the heck they want.
Yeah, you ain't never lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the end, none of us really know what the day is. You know, it's going to be like July 8th is when we'll be COVID free. That'll be nice. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to be COVID. I think this is just something we're going to be stuck dealing with from now on.
If you would have told me or asked me if I thought we'd be to the point we're at right now 2 months ago.
Yeah, I would have never.
Really,
I've been
honestly.
like not in the United States. Hey, Anna, are they doing any kind of lockdown or any kind of lockdown up there in Alaska? Like here where I'm at, I just watched our emergency city council meeting, which was appalling. Like here, I think it's next week they're going to start where we're going to have a curfew from 11 to 6. Wow. You can't be outside. If you are out driving, they're supposed to be able to drive to, let's say, the hospital and go get food, essential stuff. But you got to have a letter with you stating what your business is that you got to get from the city, which I think is crazy. I was like, man, when did I wake up in 1930 in Germany?
Serious.
You know? Because when people that ask you for your papers, that makes me really uncomfortable. But are they doing anything up there where you live?
Well, right now, I don't think that they feel like they have to enforce everything yet, but they're making the rules to where you can only stay in your own residence, whether it's family or not. You have to be in your house that you live in, and you're not supposed to leave unless it's for food or essential work, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you know, I think we got it easy compared to some other countries like Dominican Republic. They are arresting you on site if you're outside.
Yeah.
In India, I've seen videos of like police literally just smacking people with clubs if they're outside until they go in.
I saw that too. Yeah,
I
saw that too.
You know, so we got it easy compared to some.
Yep. But it's like I said, man, that no matter what happens, if you look close enough, you can find something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Totally.
This was a huge reality check for everybody.
Yeah, I don't
worldwide.
think this is. I mean, I'm 50. I don't have any real recollection of anything like this through my entire life.
Yeah, Stanley, I did hear about the Philippines. It's pretty rough over there.
Yeah, man, I'm just reading that. That's real. Good Lord.
Yeah, I hope
people
that
like
Not on site.
I just wanted milk.
That's crazy.
Is that real?
I hope
I
not.
thought I heard that too, but it wasn't confirmed. I don't know. But I'm not.
I talked to like 3 people in the Philippines, and they didn't say anything about it. Oh.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And then over
So
here, you got pictures of people eating chips with their gloves.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
I know.
Like, yeah, I won't get it. I'm wearing gloves.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Steve, what are you doing to take advantage of the time that you have at home with all this is going on? Because you're teaching remotely, right?
I am, yeah. So they implemented something called distance learning. So every teacher was basically given some time while we were still in school to put together like a contingency plan. So we have to know what online platform we're using, how we're going to be communicating with the students in a professional way. So for me, it's kind of business as usual, but in a completely different environment. And I think for a lot of people, especially like the older teachers who are more traditional, like they give worksheets all the time, they're the ones who are going to have a hard time acclimating to this whole thing. But I've been teaching digitally for like forever now. So it's just like what we do in the classroom, we're just going to do at home. It's just, you know, every once in a while I'll hop in front of the camera, record myself saying something. But no, I mean, I'm fortunate. I feel blessed that I have one of those occupations where I'm still working. It's just a slight change of pace, and you know, everybody's adjusting the best that they can, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't honestly. I couldn't imagine having to. I haven't really done any of my teaching online. I mean, with music, it's just different. You know, private instruction on FaceTime is, you know, you do what you can, but it also doesn't require all that much preparation for me. Or you, I mean, you're not only just turn on the camera and talking, like you're having to send out supplemental material and obviously homework and whatnot, and then I guess receive it for grading. I mean, is there a whole portal for that you're using, like Blackboard or something like that? Or
yeah, it's called Gradebook. It's
okay.
Attached to a Power School or Power Teacher. So
Yeah.
the grading thing has remained the same, fortunately. So there wasn't like this brand new platform that we needed to have professional development on. But
Okay.
yeah, it's tough. But like James said, there's kind of like a silver lining in everything, because now that we're home, like we are spending more time with our loved ones, hopefully and presumably, and it's certainly given me more time to spend with my daughter. And daycare is super, super expensive, and so we don't have to pay for daycare for like the next few months, which is amazing.
Nice.
I might put that money towards fragrances. I don't know.
At least some of it, you know.
A very small percentage of it.
Feel free to send any my way.
Yeah, you know, you need La Danza, man.
La Danza, that's right.
Yeah.
And Corrigan.
Yeah.
I think Solano has said it's 156.
There's Jen.
No.
She's saying no. You know. Yeah.
What about you, Anna? What do you do for a living?
I am.
Somebody's getting the finger. I saw the finger in the background. What'd you do, Steve?
She overheard the me spending money on fragrances part, but yeah, Anna, sorry.
No, that's funny. That's normal wife stuff. I'm a paralegal, so I still have to work, which is a blessing.
Yes.
But, yeah,
I'll
it is.
In a minute. I haven't had any income going on. Well, at the end of this week, this next week will be a month.
Yeah.
I have had zero income. So if you have a job and you think that you want your company to lay you off because of all this, you need to take a serious step back and think about that, because I'm living that right now and it ain't no fun whatsoever.
Yeah, are they making it easier to be on unemployment right now for you guys?
I think the last thing I saw is they are doing an extended unemployment, and then the federal government is matching an extra $600 to go with your state, because your state takes care of your unemployment. So the federal government is going to add another $600 to that. But unfortunately, I can't qualify for that because working in the bar at the door, I got paid under the table. So I sure wish, because it would definitely make a huge help right now. But
yeah, sorry to hear that.
Well,
that's why I said, did you guys see that little video I did? It says I have Amazon links, so please use my links.
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, I did see it.
And you just got monetized, right?
Say again?
And your page just got monetized recently, right? Your channel?
Yeah, not too long ago. And then AdSense money, if you ask any of these guys, unless you got a decent sized channel like Steve does, AdSense money doesn't really count up to a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I think I have made it. And then the CPMs have dropped. Steve, have you noticed that too?
Yeah, it actually dropped by a lot.
Yeah. So, making money on YouTube, unless you have a huge channel, is difficult. I had a guy respond to my video where I said, hey, I'm looking for a little help. I'm not looking for, to beg, but if you're going to shop on Amazon, use my link. And he replied back saying, hey, why don't you do a live stream and people can donate? I was like, man, people don't donate when it comes to fragrance lives. They don't do that. I've never, well, I take that back. I watched yours, Steve, and a couple people did for you, which I thought was really cool. But on average, it's just something that our community doesn't do. You know?
That is true.
Because he was like, one guy's like, hey, why don't you sell some of your stuff, or why don't you give some of your stuff back to the community? I'm like, dude, I don't have, I'm asking for help, not to give my crap away. Come on. But I appreciated the reach out that he was trying to, he thought he was trying to help. So I appreciated it no matter what.
Totally.
Because being broke ain't no fun.
Never.
Can't buy fragrance.
Nope, you can't buy love without any money. You all laughing, but you know it's true. You can't be broke.
Yeah.
And get no kind of love. I mean, let's be real with ourselves.
Depends on where you're trying to get it from.
I don't have your voice there, brother.
You don't need it. All about how you use it, man. It doesn't matter what it is.
So what I need to do is, when I'm going to talk to a girl, is I need to call Jay. Just give her the phone and then tell Jay to tell her everything I wanted her to know.
That is so funny.
And then you meet her in person, and then what?
I'll be like, well, you know,
you have cold.
I got a cold.
I was real sick the whole time. I don't know. And now
that's right.
I'm better now, though. So.
Yeah, that deep, creamy voice you like so much is gone. My cold is finished. You got really deep,
right?
It's like JC has.
I feel like my voice was deeper when I was in high school. And it, like,
really?
It lightened. I don't know what happened. It was like a weird deal.
I mean, it still sounds pretty sultry to me, you know.
Yeah.
I was on my way to pay a speeding ticket like years ago. I was on the highway, and this cop pulled me over, and he was like, "You ever think about getting into radio?" And in my head, I'm like, "Oh man, I'm getting out of this ticket." And then like 5 minutes or so passed, so he writes me another speeding ticket. So I'm like, "Can I just go ahead and pay this?" He's like, "No, we got to get in the system." I was like, "Damn, oh, shit."
Yeah, I would think the same. It's like, oh yeah, we're good. He's not even worried.
Right.
Lured him in. No.
Didn't work.
I really like this comment that Titan just put up.
It will come out stronger and better. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man.
No reason why not.
You know, I will say, since all this craziness has happened, that a lot of people have done like what we're doing right now. Live streams have really become more of a thing lately because it gives everybody a chance to have like a conversation, roundtable conversation, which I enjoy. I've seen Steve, the last one I watched was with you, Carlos, and Curly-Sense, if I remember right.
Right. Yeah. Not too long ago.
Which I enjoyed. This whole format I kind of enjoyed because it kind of gives everybody a little bit of an insight on each of our personalities, what we think, if we're silly or not. Like, I know I'm stupid silly. But it gives people a chance to really kind of get to know us on a different level. Because otherwise, I'm just a talking head in front of, this shelf for most people.
Nice shelf, though.
You said you're just a talking head? Who said
talking
that?
Head. Who said that? I've had more than one person say that my videos are more like a talking head video.
I don't know.
Looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm not looking at you like you're crazy. I wish I could look at these people like they're crazy. I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I have to agree.
You're not that different from, we're all human. We all have heads, and they talk, but.
Let's bring it right down to the literal.
We're all talking heads. I don't get it. I don't know how you.
I think just the expression itself is a little silly, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
So don't take that, man.
Steve,
if there's just like 5 people, then those are 5 lonely people who are trying to make themselves feel better by making you feel worse.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that want to function that way.
That's right.
Actually,
the bigger you get, they come.
Yep.
Go ahead, Anna.
No, I think it's actually like it's a thing where people that just talk right in front of the screen, they're called talking heads, and that's all they do.
Yes. Because your
Yeah.
frame is just this. You know,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of movement or anything going on with the actual video.
So that is my videos as well. But people like
So,
them.
Anna, what was the one fragrance that started out for you to start to collect, and then what was the point where you decided that you wanted to become a reviewer?
Well, so that's a good question. I've always liked perfume, and I used to buy, because I was really cheap and young, and I used to just buy fragrance oils. And when I used to buy fragrance oils, it was the one by Dolce & Gabbana and Beyonce Heat Rush that kind of like started that. That was like when I was 19. And I think what happened, I think the middle of last year, is I was shopping for fragrances, and I forgot like how much I loved them. And I realized I already had a ton in my collection. So then I just started watching fragrance reviewers on YouTube, and I realized I was spending probably like 5 hours a night just like consuming content of fragrance reviewers. And then I just like started buying probably every week. I was just buying new fragrances, and I bought like $100 worth of samples from Lucky Scent.
Dang.
Which was like 4 samples.
And I wanted to buy like 5 niche perfumes, and I was like, you know what? Let me learn, like, before I spend my money on the expensive fragrances that I'm not really there yet. Let me get more comfortable with, designer and cheaper fragrances, and kind of like find out before, because I feel like sometimes you don't know that there's niche fragrances where there's a perfect like similar fragrance that's way cheaper that has been out even longer. So I want to kind of like, figure out what I do like before investing the money in niche. So I was like, why not? Like, I've been wanting to do YouTube for a long time. I was like, why not like have people like share that journey with me and kind of like learn the basics first, and then eventually, have a shelf behind me like Chris there and you. Yeah.
Man, you know who's got the best collection out of everybody that's sitting here? It's good old Mr. Steve Redolessence.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I have seen it.
I think I heard the last time I heard you talk about how many frags you had like 1,500 bottles in your collection.
I think so, yeah. I mean, every time I get a new fragrance, I try to put it on Fragrantica, just so because that's like my only inventory at the moment. And I haven't been doing that for like the past couple of months, which is bad.
Yeah,
because now I'm like, I mean, just to kind of go through everything, it's going to take such a long time. But I think it's right around that number that you said, James, which is a little scary for me.
Hey, it's just a number. You put it on paper, it's just 4 digits. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just 4 digits.
Yeah.
Unless you talk about price.
It's the digits sign with each one of those is what adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What questions to you all? And let's see what is. Trying to read the comments.
Is there a way we can kick out A Gentleman's Journey?
Yeah, good old Chad.
Yeah.
He's alert.
If we could control alt delete. He said, why isn't the camera zoomed in on Steven's face? He's the best looking one in the group.
I agree. Let's get it zoomed. Let's see that.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is your connection is going to start to lag if you do that. So,
Come on.
so we need to keep this live stream going for like another hour. So don't do that.
So Steve, what about the same question that I just asked Anna? What was the first fragrance that kind of hooked you, and then what was the situation when you decided years ago to start your YouTube channel? Because you've been, I think your channel is 8 years old now, if I remember right.
Yeah, about 8 years old. I started in 2012. Yeah.
It's almost a decade, man. That's pretty.
I know, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Almost 33% of my life.
Yeah.
So I think my story is very similar to Anna's. When I was in high school, I was wearing a lot of Beyonce heat. No, I'm just kidding. No, but truth be told, though, no. When I was in high school, I was wearing a lot of eau de toilettes, and I guess because since I was like 10 years old, my mom would buy fragrances for me, my aunt would buy fragrances for me, so I had like between 25 and 30 fragrances in my collection, and it was like back in 2011, I want to say like late 2011. I was watching videos, or I actually did a Google search. Google brought me to YouTube, and I came across this one video where the guy was mentioning brands like Creed and Bond, Serge Lutens, Nasamato. And I said, what are all these brands? You know, like I know my Dior's and Chanel's and Yves Saint Laurent. So I basically, very much like Anna, I went on Lucky Scent and I just bought like tons of samples because I wanted to try everything. So I think the first 5 fragrances that I ever sampled, the niche fragrances that I sampled, were Nasamato Duro. I tried, there's one by, God, what's the name of that company? Intelligence and Fantasy or something. Oh, I think it's called the Beautiful Mind series. I tried L'air du Desert Marocain by Tower Perfumes, Comme des Garçons Eau de Parfum, and Blood Concepts O. And I remember just like wearing them all at the same time and thinking to myself, like, what the heck am I doing? And, but like watching, like I was watching like 5 hours worth of videos every single day because I was like, wow, this is such a large community and there's so many niche fragrances out there. I felt like I needed to catch up. So I was like, I'm not going to stop until I know about every single fragrance that comes out, which, I mean, to this point, I don't think any of us have caught up because there's just so much out there. It's such an amazing, journey, and there's so much to discover, which I think is why people are so invested into it and why they keep going for so many years. Because it's like, this isn't going to slow down,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always something new to smell.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about
What
you,
about
James?
you? Oh, me?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The first fragrance that kind of did it for me was Drakkar by Guy Lucci. That kind of shows my age a little bit because I can remember wearing that all through high school. And then the next one that really caught my attention was Lagerfeld Photo. And I think that's discontinued now, which is a shame because that's got tons of nostalgic for me. And then, it's kind of a cut and paste. Our stories are all really similar. Like I can remember when I got back into fragrances, excuse me, like I said, I'm single. And I had been single for a long time. I didn't want to date or anything like that. I came to the point, I was like, I need to do something because I want to attract a female. So the easiest thing to do is smell good. Really, it helps immediately. And then I stumbled across Jeremy Fragrance. And that's how this whole thing started for me. And then I would say I was really active in the Facebook community and YouTube. I mean, you can ask, because I've commented on his stuff for years. Then one day I was like, I think I'm going to give this a try, because I had amassed a pretty good collection at that point in time. And I was like, well, you know what? I worked as a photographer for a long time and did a bunch of still work. So I had a bunch of equipment to start out with because I didn't start out with a phone. I started out with a DSLR. And it went from there. And I kind of haven't looked back. I've got myself to a point where I can't stop. I've invested way too much money, time, and effort to quit, even if I wanted to.
A lot of people have.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? What was the first fragrance that caught you, and then what's your story?
Let's see. Well, I've been obsessed with smelling good for as long as I can remember. I didn't always have access to fragrances as a kid. I was always wearing them. I would get them kind of like, my mom would buy some. I can't even tell you what I wore as an 8th grader. I remember my mom would bring home a bottle of something, some nameless bottles. Like, here's a cologne you can smell good at school. Like, I spray it all, and it smells at the time great, but thinking back, I'm like, that was not a good fragrance at all. Sprayed too much of it. So I've always loved smelling good. And in high school, I started to get into some designers. I started wearing Chanel Allure, the original. I got that as like as an anonymous gift on Valentine's Day. To this day,
somebody liked you.
I believe so. To this day, I still don't know. It was in my locker. I opened it up. I'm like, Chanel. Oh man. All right. So I started wearing it, and then I don't know what happened to that bottle. It disappeared. What did you say, Anna?
I said, is that when your voice started coming in?
I would spray it right here every night. Yeah. Stretched out the vocal cords, you know. No, so I would wear that a lot. I lost that bottle. I don't know what happened to it. In fact, if I remember, I may have gone on some trip on an airplane for band in high school, and they may have confiscated it. I don't remember at security. But anyway, so fast forward, kind of the same as everyone else. This was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, and at the time I was actually wearing David Beckham's signature. I don't know if you guys know, it's purple juice, kind of a rectangular bottle with a silver cap. I was wearing that one.
I got a bottle of it right here somewhere.
You would know, yeah. I was wearing that one. That was my signature scent.
I would know.
I mean, man, you're inside of all those, you know, the fragrances that nobody's really talking about in terms of like the ones people would overlook, like the celebrity things and all that. So, but I really loved that one at the time. I went through like 3 or 4 bottles of it, and I was getting tired of it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to find something else. So I went on YouTube, did a quick little search. I'm like, I'm not going to find anything here. I mean, I just looked up like cologne or something. I don't remember. And then I'm like, people talk about everything in videos. So similar to what Anna and Steven said, I mean, I spent a whole summer, like 3 months. I mean, I probably watched like 1,200 videos. I don't even remember. It was bad. And by the end of that summer, I had already started collecting. I was like finding designer fragrances. I too found Jeremy. I also found Steven's channel. I found Carlos, Mark from Robes Away, found Chad, Cody, you know, some people who aren't reviewing anymore and stuff. And started getting all these recommendations for designers. So I would go to like Macy's and I would just start buying fragrances. And the one that really kind of hooked me was this one, which I've talked about, the original. I smelled this in a Macy's and I was like, this is amazing. So I bought it right then and there, which I shouldn't have, because I could have got like half off online, but I learned that. And that's what did it. That's when I really started to collect. And by the end of that first summer, I probably had maybe 20 fragrances I had amassed at that point. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I think I could do this in terms of reviewing. It was mainly just a challenge. I was like, I think I could do this. And I really had no other good reason beyond that. So I had my little iPhone 6S and got a lapel mic and started making videos and kept collecting from that point on. And yeah, the rabbit hole just doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
So I remember,
Chris,
Jay, it's been a while ago that you ended up selling off a ton of your fragrances. What actually kind of primed you to do that?
Yeah, you know, that was almost 2 years ago now. And I was at a point where a few things were coinciding. I was getting ready to move across the country, for one. But also, I don't know, this is what happened. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this. Most of the fragrances I was buying up to that point in time, not all of them, but most of them, were blind buys. And they were buys based on what somebody else said about, or based on some hype about something. And I looked at my collection, you know, one day, and I just realized it's like, man, I feel like at that point I had like maybe almost 100 bottles. And I was like, I feel like 3 of these fragrances that I have are ones that I found on my own and that I really love to wear. And the rest of them I have to struggle to reach for because I have them. It's like, well, I got them, I got to wear them. But I realized it's like, I only bought these because somebody else said to buy them, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, because it's good to get put on to other things by other people, you know, get it on your radar. But when you just start blind buying bottles and you start just amassing them, and it's like pretty soon you just have a collection based on what everyone else likes. So
Yeah.
basically all those fragrances disappeared. Yeah, man.
I see what you're doing there.
That is impressive though. Still, you got it. It looks great. So I don't know how you feel about it, but it looks awesome. But I realized that most of what I had, I wasn't really digging. So from that point on, I decided, it's like, you know what? I think I need to step back from YouTube, because I was already deciding that I was going to get rid of everything. I was going to purge. I was like, I can't really make videos if I don't have anything to talk about. I'm not going to go buy samples, which I did that all. I don't really do that much anymore, but I did that a lot too. I spent my several $100s on some cans. But because I was getting rid of all my bottles, I was like, you know, I'm not going to be making videos until I can kind of reset. So, you know, again, I got rid of everything, just about everything, except for maybe 8 or 10 bottles, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I remember when you did it.
yeah, it all happened pretty quick. Right before I moved, over the course of a couple months, I just purged everything. And, you know, I kind of stepped away, made my last video, so to speak. And from that point on, as soon as I moved and I got settled, I started to kind of collect again. But I've been trying to be more mindful ever since then. And, you know, yeah, there's other things I can go into about it, but that's the gist of it. So now my collection is more or less looking like things that I really enjoy, that are my taste, that I either just found myself, or, you know, they're similar to something that I already liked and someone had recommended it, so I got it, and they're right, I like it, you know. So that's the best way I could put it.
What about you, Chris?
Myself, it was colognes and perfumes were always big in my family's houses. My father wore Drakkar, Givenchy, Sirius. Where is it? Somewhere up here. I don't know where it is. All right. Sirius by Givenchy is another one that he used to wear, and I used to put that on whenever I could find it. Then my uncle moved in with us, and he had Agua de Gio. He had all the other hyped fragrances at the moment. So I used to put on some of that before I went to school. I went to stay in Ecuador for, I think it was like a month or so, and my grandfather used to come out of the bathroom, and it used to smell great when he walked out. So one day I snuck into the bathroom just to see what it was, and it happened to be this one. Bijan. I don't know if anybody else has checked that one out yet.
That is.
Now,
yeah, I've seen it. I've smelled it.
So, you know, and I have it. I don't wear it. I like how it smells, but I have it just because those are the memories that I have from them. You know what I'm saying? So when my parents got divorced and my stepfather moved in, and he started wearing a lot of Cool Water. So again, all these memory fragrances, I have them just because I like going back to them, smelling them, and just remembering those times in my life. So that was just how it started building. And then, like everybody else, I threw on YouTube one day, and there goes Jeremy, you know, doing his thing. And I was like, man, you know, he's saying this is a real good one. Let me go check this out. I didn't know there was other YouTubers at the moment. Then I ran into Steven and Carlos. Then I ran into all the other guys, and it was like Jay said, mind blown. And now you just stuck in there. And then 2,000 videos later, you already got Fragrance Net and Fragrance X already up, and you're purchasing stuff you've never smelled before just because, you know, Jay said it's amazing, and I gotta go get it. Steven said this one is great, and you gotta go get it. So, and it was awesome. And then one day, so at that point I have about 100 bottles, and I have like 17 on the way, and it's crazy. And then I start hearing Steven and Carlos speak about events that they're gonna be having. So I started going to some of the events, and at the first event that I went to, I met Cuba, Carlos, Steven. I know Cody was there, Street Sense, all these people. So it's like everybody that I constantly watched was in the room, and then I met a couple of other people who put me on to other people later on. And then I got in contact with Frags and Gary from No Nonsense. And I ended up getting really cool with everybody, and I will just constantly go to the events. And they kept asking me, when are you going to start your own channel? And that was not something that, I thought I could do. But they kept on asking, and I kept on getting stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't go anywhere, what's the harm done?
Yeah. Because I can remember the first time I saw you, was it Gary's channel or Freddie's channel? I think it's Gary's channel, because you were all sitting at his dining room table.
Correct. We actually shot videos for all 3 of our channels that night.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, we went over to Gary's house, and we each set up our phones and shot different videos for our channels. So I shot one for my channel. It was for Zerjov Renaissance. We shot some for Freddie and for Gary, and then from there it was just like I started enjoying it. You start to look at your fragrances differently. When you watch videos like Steven's, where he gives you so much information on a fragrance that you bought it, you sprayed it on, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna go smell it. But now you're starting to look, this is a perfumer that I really like. This is good for this season. This is good for nighttime. This is good for those other times.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying, it just opens up, like you say, it's a rabbit hole. So now it's like, before you know it, I got 200-300 bottles sitting behind me, and it's just it's awesome, because now people come over and they come in and they stare at it and they go, wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how other people see it, and it's not as important to them as it is to us. So when they see it, they're like, oh wow, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, because most people see cologne as a very utilitarian thing. It's like, I have my one cologne and I wear it everywhere, and then when it's out, I get another one. But it's like, we treat it like, like you would with your shirts or something. You don't wear the same shirt every day.
Exactly.
So I totally get that.
Well, maybe.
So I mean, it's just.
I know you said
He's like, I love this shirt.
But
I wear this one every day. I got issues.
Flip it inside out, and you're good.
It's my walk-in billboard. Let people know to stay, social distance from me.
46 feet. So I mean, after that, it was just you kind of fall in love with it, and it just becomes a part of your daily life. Waking up every day and looking at this setup over here and saying, all right, what statement am I gonna make today?
Yeah, man.
What am I gonna put out there today? What am I gonna wear today that's gonna make somebody go, wow, what is that? I've never smelled that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, in high school, this is all I wore. Curve, front.
Yes.
And
everybody still wears that.
It's good stuff. But now you're getting into other stuff like people don't really know about on a daily basis. So this was one of the bottles that I have picked out. So Elisa, since number 8, Santal. People don't really hear about it. If you go and look it up online to try to order it, it doesn't really come up. But it's such a great scent that people actually come up to you and say, hey, what is it that you have on? Can you write it down for me? And then you get to tell them a little bit about it, So it's I love it, man. I love it. It's the passion that you have for it, and that's kind of what you want to put out there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, totally.
That's my life story.
One thing I want to add.
We all kind of fit in. Go ahead.
Sorry, one thing I want to add to that. you know, like what you had said, Chris, about when people like come into your room and they see all your fragrances and they're like, wow. You know, one thing that I've learned that I love about this, and it kind of is almost contradictory to what I thought it was for me. And that is like, you know, we get all these fragrances for ourselves and you smell them at home or whatever, and you wear them out and you enjoy them. It's like, oh yeah, I love this fragrance, I'm gonna wear it. But I love sharing it with people, especially people who don't know anything about it. Like that is what brings me the most joy, is when I can like sit down with a friend who has like, you know, they don't even wear fragrance, or maybe they have one or two, and we have like 10 in front of me. I choose, and then I just give them, you know, have them smell them and to see what they think. I love that. That is what brings me so much joy, is sharing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely. Yeah. I love doing the same thing when my brothers or my cousins come over. I'll be like, look, I know you like this one, but you gotta check this one out real quick. I have a coworker who paid $115 for the regular Curve.
Wow.
Because he went and he bought it at the mall. So I'm like, bro, they got you. They
like,
got
I hope
you.
That was an original formulation. Good Lord, seriously?
Just whatever the formulation.
That much?
Yeah. So then I made him a couple decants, and I put him onto some stuff. And now he's saying, hey, I watched that guy Carlos's video. Hey, I checked out that guy Steven. Okay, do you have a sample of this one that I can try, or this one? And I'll give it to him. And now you make little junior frag heads. So now he's asking me, you know,
that's how I
got a sample. I gotta try that mula. You know what I'm saying? Like this one, I bought it. Twisted Lilies, Histoires de Parfum 1804.
Haven't smelled it.
Oh man, the pineapple that comes off of it is amazing, and it's not Aventus, because I know as soon as you hear pineapple, everybody goes Aventus. But this is just like such a juicy pineapple. It's amazing, man. I actually bought a backup bottle from it, so I haven't even opened it up because I haven't finished this yet. But I ended up buying a full bottle of it just because that's how much I like.
You said 1804.
1804 by Histoires de Parfum.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I got a few from them that I like.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It says it has santal, patchouli, benjoin, vanilla, white musks, but then the pineapple that it has is just incredible.
Okay.
But
yeah, it does sound good.
It's good stuff.
You're being mighty quiet, Anna. You can't be the only girl here and not talk.
Okay.
She's just a great listener. You know?
So when did you get your dimples?
What did you say?
So when did you get your dimples?
In the room.
Yeah.
Once the
started spraying gelato.
Thing hit the egg, probably. You asked.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm curious if anyone has any fragrances like right now that you've recently just kind of come across or discovered. Either you picked them up or you've smelled them or you got a sample of something that are really just moving you. Like what is newest on the radar?
Steve's got two in his line that I really like that I had, you know, that came in the sample pack. And then for me, I would say that it's really kind of talked to me lately. Man, that's a tough one. You know what I would say for me that has really piqued my interest over the cool weather this winter is going to be Dua and its intimacy. I actually talked about it in a video, but I kind of wear it. I like the blend stuff, so I wear it and CK Man Privé at the same time, and they complement each other so well. That's probably the one that has really caught my attention the most over, I would say, the last couple of months.
So is it a clone of something?
No, it's an original.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's dark. It's really rich smelling. It's got it's on the borderline of maybe almost being a little bit gourmand. It smells really, really good.
Okay.
What you showing there, Chris?
This is actually one that I got a sample of and then bought a second sample just because I ended up really liking it. So from Perfumology, it's a Grange. I don't know if you guys
have that yet.
I haven't smelled it
because I want it. I already. I spoke to
really,
them.
really
I was
good.
like, I gotta have it. And it's just
That's bliss.
it's so different to me for whatever reason. And I told them I need it. So I'm getting Perfumology Grange. That's a definite. And then Carlos, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, put me on to Portrait of a Lady from
I've never smelled that. I've always been
I
interested
still
in
haven't
it.
smelled it, honestly. I know that's blasphemy. I have not smelled many from Frederick Mall. This is a handful.
I smelled Ravageur first, so it was kind of like, wow, to me at the moment, like it was very strong and it was like off-putting almost to me at first. And I wasn't ready for it. But Portrait of a Lady is, for me.
Something happened with your audio, Chris.
I was wondering if it was my headphones.
No, it's on his end. We can't hear anything you're saying.
I think it's good now. Say something.
You guys get me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of fading in and out. What about you, buddy?
Sorry
What was the first fragrance that really kind of rocked you as a kid, or the one that made you wake up and go, you know, this is some neat stuff right here?
Man, my journey is kind of odd.
I think all of us are.
When I was a kid, my aunt, I lived with my aunt. I grew up with her, and she would give me she would always bring me like colognes. And at the time I was a child, so I'd like Obsession. I was like 8 years old wearing Obsession, Lucky, Papadizio, like a lot of powerhouse fragrances.
Yeah.
Man, all those third graders didn't know what to do with you, man.
Yeah, I was 8 years old, like wearing fragrances like I'm like 35.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then that's kind of a blur. Fast forward to when I met my now wife, and I didn't wear any fragrance probably after like 13, 14 years old. I didn't wear anything.
Yeah, because that's really kind of young. That's surprising to see that you were exposed to that young.
And we'd always catch like wafts of somebody's cologne, and my wife would be like, "You should get back into cologne. Get back into cologne." And I was like, "Nah, just didn't really think anything of it." And then we were at the shoe store.
It was a hint.
And yeah. It took me a few years.
You should really get back into cologne.
I was trying to say I stink or something, like what's going on. And the guy that was working at the shoe store we were at was wearing Curve Green. We asked him what he was wearing, and that was actually my first like venture back into the cologne game was Curve Green. Green. I bought a bottle of that, not really thinking much of it, and then I actually discovered Steven's channel. I didn't like everybody else said, I didn't know there was a YouTube world of cologne reviews.
Yeah, neither did I.
Robes 08 and Drag Talk. So I started watching cologne review videos, and then I slipped down the rabbit hole, picked up a bottle of Ludace by Issey Miyake, and then my third bottle was actually the Aurum Intense.
Ooh,
and then it just kind of it snowballed after that.
So it's a trip. Like I met him, but I first found out about you. I met his wife. His wife is my insurance agent.
Yeah.
So when I first moved here, I went in there to get insurance because I'm in a new place, and I was asking him about insurance for my collection. And all of a sudden, my husband's really into fragrance and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I have run a YouTube channel. She's all, yeah, he listens to reviews all day long.
Yeah, it was funny because she called me. She was like, hey, she's like, I just wrote some insurance for a guy that's got a channel here in town. I was like, really? And then I discovered your channel. And then it took forever for me to actually get over here. What was it, 3-4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago? It's crazy. It's just it really is a small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that this scented water brings people together as much as it does.
Man, It's
But
that
you almost feel like
mixed with, you know, how complex just the sense of smell is, you know, it's pretty amazing. Just you imagine smelling something, some molecules going into your nose, into your head, and then it's crazy. It's just we go
It's
wild.
amazing the way the olfactory system works.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
But like everybody like here is so passionate about like, you know, perfume and colognes, and I don't know if anybody's experienced this, but you like bring somebody's over at your house and like you're letting them smell your collection and like you're just so passionate about it and you expect the same reaction from them, and they're just like, oh,
And they don't care.
yeah, they don't care, you know. And it really is like it's a niche category that you know we have a passion for. But
Because I've had people walk in this room and then look at me like I'm crazy.
seriously, yeah.
They're like, dude, you got a problem. You might want to try crack. That's expensive.
You need an intervention.
Yeah. I need a loan.
I've been telling all my family members, I know you guys don't like perfume, but just subscribe and don't watch.
yeah.
Okay?
Just click like and go.
Yeah, support.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can resonate with that. It's sometimes it's hard to acknowledge that people don't care or even they don't like it. It's like how do you not love this? Like
Yeah.
but they just, you know,
Who doesn't like
reason
smelling good?
Yeah.
some people, I don't know. It's just everyone's so different.
I have a friend that his wife her nose is very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So he's allowed to have one cologne because it doesn't bother her nose. And it's
And that's why
it was a polo double black, I think is the one he has. And it's and it's the only one that he can have. And I took my book bag over to him, and I started showing him a couple of ones that he made a pile of ones that he liked, and then had to show it to her in order for her to say,
okay,
you can have this one, or you can't have that one. So needless to say,
that's right.
he couldn't have any of them. And he was like, I really like that one. I really, really like that one. I was sorry, dude.
Dang.
That's rough. That's rough.
That's gotta be rough.
I got lucky enough. My wife actually likes a lot of the ones that I have, and she enjoys the fact that she has a free pick of whatever she can have in the room. So I kind of lucked out in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Other people just aren't as lucky, man. It's rough.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
The only thing is, there is one fragrance she made me get rid of because she did not like it at all. Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb.
Oh, really? I actually kind of dig that. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I had to get rid of it.
I was waiting for you to say like Victor and where is it?
I'm really surprised to hear that she did not dig Spice Bomb.
I wore it. She was like, "What do you have on?" She goes, "What do you have on?" I was like, "Oh, I'm over here like this." She loves it. I was like, "Yeah, Victor Spice Bomb." And she's like, "I'll never wear it again."
What was her?
Yeah, I was expecting you to tell when you said your wife had one she didn't like. This is a sample of Tyrannosaurus Rex from what is this? Zoologist.
Zoologist.
Now this is
that was special fragrance.
This is rough. This is one of those ones where you hear people say that, you know, I wear it for the artistry. You know, I much rather look at the painting.
I love it.
Or the image on the front. I don't want to smell this again. Yeah.
I love it.
Is that how you love it?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you say you love it? I guess I don't have a mature enough nose. I still like really juvenile stuff, so I stick with that. This is totally out of my class.
You know what?
And it had me choking.
Something about it. And you know what? Somebody told me that this will clear out a city block. So I put it on. So I was scared at first. I sprayed it on the wall. And I sprayed it. Shut up. I sprayed it on. I sprayed it on the wall. And I sat in the room and I started to smell it, and I'm like, man, that smells good. So finally, I ended up getting somebody, Gary from No Nonsense, gave this to me, and I sprayed it on. And I'm like, man, I like this, but I know nobody else is going to.
Yeah.
So I showed it to my wife. I showed it to my wife. I showed it to my mother. I showed it to my friend's wife that has a sensitive nose. And surprisingly enough, they were all okay with it.
Really? Because to me, this smells like burnt flesh. It's really what this comes to. Burning, rotting flesh is what this smells like to me.
Like something.
That's kind of what they were going for.
I mean, literally, if you ever watch the video where I did probably, I think 8 or 9 of these. I've got all of except for his last one. And dude, it was everything I could do to not upchuck. It bothered me that bad.
Dang.
Wow. My mother said it smelled like cinnamon.
I like your face.
She said it smelled like cinnamon. She liked it.
That's mild. Yeah. Run with that.
Smell a dead body? It smells like cinnamon.
Hey, you don't know what you're missing.
I don't know. I like it. I still haven't found an occasion that I can wear it, but I like it.
I mean, that's what's cool about this. In my opinion, that's the really neat thing about this hobby is there is something for all of us. We all don't like the same stuff. One man's treasure is another man's trash. So that's what keeps me interested in this, because we all can't like the same stuff. That'd be boring. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I just ain't gonna wear T-Rex by zoologists. This one will stay safely in its little card until the end of time.
Yeah, you don't know what you're missing. List. Say like, yeah, I smelled it.
Yeah. Well, now that you say that, Jay, I think the whole part of this is the experience. I smell a lot of stuff, not everything that I like, but I enjoy the experience of smelling it. The actual, would you say, visceral feeling you get when you smell something new that you either really like or you don't. And when I find something, when I find something that I really like, I get a huge hit of dopamine. I mean, that's what your brain gives you when you're happy.
Yep.
But T-Rex, there is no dopamine associated with this fragrance whatsoever.
You can send it this way. Send it this way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but what else?
What about you, Steve? With your amazing array of your personal collection and the stuff that you have smelled, what is the most trying fragrance you've ever put your nose to?
We did a video on this not long ago.
Yeah, we did. Well, I don't. It's weird. I think the default answer would be like Secretions Magnifique or something like that. But there's a lot of other. I think honestly, I think there are a lot of other fragrances though that are quite bad. Or not bad, but just polarizing. Where it's like one person out of like 100 would probably like it. But companies still do.
Oh, like Chris in this one.
Which one?
There's 5 people in the world that like that. No,
I said like Chris. Chris likes this one.
Oh,
he's very, very alone.
T-Rex is it's hard to get along with, but there is one. Justin, I don't know if you remembered it or if we even featured it on that list, but it's by Heretic. It's called Poltergeist.
I remember.
It was like
it is literally black.
It was like blacker than Black Afghano. Like
wow.
Really?
It was like looking into a black hole. It's just a void. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
But everything is in there.
It's smokier and darker than T-Rex.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that.
Really?
That is rough. It is rough from what I remember.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I can appreciate it for like getting that into a bottle. I can appreciate it for the bottle itself. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it for the juice, which looks like sludge, like literally. But I just don't know where the heck you would wear that. Like, where? Unless it's an event with other frag heads or just hanging out with other people.
It's tough. It's
tough. And there was one from Dior, surprisingly enough, that I remember I just absolutely did not. It was one of the ouds from the
leather oud, yeah.
That one, that's the only fragrance I've ever smelled thus far where I'm just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Lucretia's Magnifique is up there too, but I feel like that's just a given. I don't know anyone who's like, I don't think there's 1 out of 100 with that one. I think it's just like,
Yeah,
it's unanimous. Nobody's really digging that.
And
But leather oud, I was like, I'm trying to like it. I'm trying with every sniff. I don't like this at all. It smells like poop. It just smells like poop. That's all it is, man.
I'm pretty confident they discontinued
it. But I know
it.
people like it. I know people do.
Yeah,
On that
that's crazy.
video, people were commenting, "Oh, you got to put it on your skin. You got to let it develop." No, I'm not letting that poop develop on my skin.
I gotta do no such thing.
Poop in. That's what it's like. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try it on skin, but on paper, I couldn't do it.
It's tough. It's a tough one for sure.
Yeah, there's some big boy ouds that I'm not ready for. The real barnyard, real fecal stuff, I can't do. Just because me personally, my body heats up. Once my body heats up and there's poop smell in the air, I'm gonna get embarrassed. My body's gonna heat up more, and I'm clearing the room. I can't do it. I smelled some.
That actually like those.
Yeah. There's a huge market out there for it, and there's people who really enjoy it, and there's some people who it smells really good on their type of skin, on their chemistry. It smells good on them, and you smell it, and you're like, man, that smells amazing, and then you spray it on yourself, and it's like, oh, what did I do?
Right.
Yeah. No, I see making
with a lot of the really heavy
clothes. Those clothes, I might have to throw them out, man. I don't know. I don't know if I want to ruin my clothes like that.
Somebody like boo-boo. But
that, and I think a lot of the really heavy oud fragrances that we smell kind of bar garnish are cultural based fragrances. There's stuff that have people in the Middle East that wear that type of fragrance all the time, and you get accustomed to it. I think really it becomes part of the culture. You know, your dad smells like this, your uncle smells like what, everybody smells like this. So it gets to become normal. Because I really enjoy the note of oud. Matter of fact, last time you came over, he got to experience, quite a wide array of the stuff that I have. So it's I don't want anything that smells like I've got a dirty diaper, but I can definitely enjoy a good note of oud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I can too, but leather oud, no, not one of them.
No, that ain't happening.
Not for everybody.
I mean, my gut instinct is like, Justin, you need to try it again. Like, try it again. Because I always want to try it again. It's like, okay, let me just make sure that, my nose wasn't being away that day, whatever. But I'm scared. I don't know. One day. I'm not gonna go buy a sample of it. If I happen to come across it in a store and the bottle's staring at me, then I'll pick it up and I'll consider it. But I'm not going to Lucky Sin, and I'm not going out of my way to, at least not with my own money. I'll just say
you're not going to pay money for it, right?
No. Exactly. I had enough.
So what do you ask? Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to be a big question. So if you had something to say, just go ahead and say it.
I was going to say, when you ask the question, what does everybody, well, basically, what do you guys like to wear to bed? Like for me, it would be Dior Homme Intense. Kind of my guilty pleasure when it comes to going to bed.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Copland?
I don't typically wear fragrances to bed. At least not like I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna spray it on. Like if I have something on already, then yeah, I'm going to bed with it. And if I enjoy it, then that's great. But the other day, I recently got a bottle of this. This is not something you would typically, I guess, maybe associate with a bed scent. This is from Nobile 1942. It's called Ponte Vecchio. And this stuff, I don't know what it is. I had it on for the day, and I went to bed, and I couldn't go to sleep because I just could not stop smelling it, to the point where I got up and sprayed some more on, and then laid back down, and then still didn't sleep.
Wow.
Again, it's not like a seductive fragrance or anything like that. Not like a Dior Homme Intense, not at all. It's more like a fresh kind of herbal scent. I don't remember everything that's in here, but there's also some complexity to it. There's some amber in there, some incense, but it's also, again, very fresh and green and a little sweet. And for some reason, the dry down I guess maybe it's not the greatest bed scent because I couldn't go to sleep. I wasn't relaxed by it, but I was loving it. But that's the best I can do. I haven't really done much with wearing them to bed.
What about you, Anna? Do you have one that you like to wear when you go to bed? Which is crazy when you ask somebody, do you wear fragrance to bed? That sounds retarded, but I guess I fall in that category because I do. I find something that is a little bit soothing, and then I wear it to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I have been, and it's just like a body mist by what's it called? Brazilian Joia. I don't know how to pronounce that, but let me see if you guys can see that. See that? Can you see that?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a body mist.
It's like creamy and it's comforting.
Yeah. Okay. What was it like? So is it like fresh or like citrusy or?
It's neither. I don't know how to. It's like. Maybe it's a gourmandish kind of smell, but it's like nutty.
It's like caramel on the beach.
Caramel on the beach.
Yeah.
The beach.
Yeah.
If you want to switch over to my picture, so you can see the bottle real quick.
No, because I'm better looking than you.
No, I agree. I agree.
All right, hold on.
Oh, I was waiting.
There we go. There, it should pop up, and then everybody can see the bottle that you're holding.
Still see Anna's dimples.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. Okay, well, we'll go back to everybody's picture.
And now,
it's a good thing you're Anna.
Chris, you still here?
Wow, did the whole thing just really freeze? Yeah, Chris is still here. Everybody's still here. It's just all of a sudden it's not wanting to swap back and forth. Come on. Oh, there it goes. And there's Chris.
There. So this is the bottle. Wait, no, this way.
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Brazilian Crush.
So where did you get that?
Huh?
Where did you get it? Where are you getting that from?
I actually got this at Sephora.
Oh, okay. Is that where you got yours, Anna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I have the chaps, the cream. It smells great.
Yeah, we have the whole little pack. Usually by the register is like $25, but it actually smells really good, and I got it over much.
Getting me smelling it all night now.
Yeah. The weird part is I've worn this to bed too, so don't judge me.
I think I gotta change it. Can't change it.
Don't judge me.
She can't be smelled like Chris.
Nope.
Sorry.
Yeah, Chris. So
what about you, Steve?
I guess for me, I just want something that either smells fresh or soapy. So I know Woody mentioned it in the chat, and I also do wear Mugler cologne. It's been a long time since I've worn a fragrance to bed, but definitely Mugler cologne. So much from the House of Prada. There you go. Chris has it on camera as well. Definitely Infusion Dome. Infusion Dome is one that I really enjoy. And then they have like some other varieties. I know they kind of like did a revamp on their line, and now I think it's called Infusion de Cidre. But they have like an Infusion de Iris, Infusion de Vetiver, and they're all kind of in the same family. But pretty much anything Prada is good for wearing to bed, I would say.
I'm a big fan of the Prada cologne line myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can't go wrong.
So, did I miss anybody? Yeah. What do you like to wear to bed?
I don't wear anything to bed. Actually,
That's just
if I happen to have sampled something like previously,
like what Jay said
on my arm, but I don't.
You don't
wear
spray something
fragrance to bed.
I guess it's one of the things that us single guys can do because I ain't got to worry about nobody complaining.
I might wake up on the floor.
I do it.
Do you guys ever like when you're about to fall asleep think I need to test this right now and like
Oh yeah.
get out and spray yourself?
Oh yeah. All the time.
I've been doing that a lot lately, and I'm like, I'm never gonna actually get any sleep.
Yeah, because my collection sits like the other opposite side of the room, so I'm looking at it, and it's like, I want to smell like, let me just get up and sniff the cap, and then that leads to sniffing like 15 others, and then it's been 20 minutes.
This is one I actually wear to bed.
Oh, that's a hard to find one.
Ginjambre.
Yeah, I haven't
I love it, but since it's not very, it doesn't project, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
Why not wear it to bed? By the time you fall asleep, it's already drying down.
Exactly.
But it's so clean, and you just fall into your bed and it's all.
Yeah, and you're not going to disturb whoever's next to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not like putting T-Rex on and then crawling into bed.
No, there's no crawling into bed with T-Rex. At that point, it's jumping on the bed before you even get in there.
Yeah.
You just got to pounce.
You know, and for whoever's watching this, I'm not dissing this house. It's just
no backtracking
work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a bunch of them that Victor Wong makes that I really like. This just isn't one of them. You know? So you don't like to wear anything. You sleep naked.
Yeah.
He sleeps naked. That's a little bit too much information, but he sleeps naked. I don't. I like to wear something to bed.
It's actually healthy. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Good for healthy sleep.
When I wake up, throughout the night, I get to sniff it, and I'm like, oh, that smells good. I smell good. I'm the only one here to really enjoy it, but I smell good.
Yeah.
For a while, I would go to sleep wearing something that I wanted to test. Obviously, you know, sometimes waiting to see how long something will last is kind of annoying. So I'll put it on before bed. I know I'm going to sleep for 8 hours, and I can still smell it in the morning.
Yeah, good to go.
Usually consider it a nice little powerhouse.
Yeah, I would do that too, and just try to keep that one arm like outside of the sheets all night, and then it's cold, but like it's worth it. It'll be worth it in the morning. So, Chris, you said you had a massive question to ask.
Oh no, it wasn't a massive question. It was more so of just I didn't know the rabbit hole that it was going to take. So I was just going to ask. I know a lot of people don't like the barnyard oud or the fecal oud so much, but there was a house that was also at Sun Explorer, and it was a more oud. Has everybody else already smelled something?
I didn't really get a chance to explore them at all, honestly.
It was Sun Explorer. You were supposed to explore the scents.
I explored many of them, but not all. Next time.
One of the ones that they had there, let me see if I can get this, was golden oud. They're selling it at Oswald now. I think it's like $285 for it. It's actually pretty nice. This was also one that I wear to bed too. I don't necessarily have $285 to spend on one bottle right now, but I think it's a really nice house. So I didn't know if anybody else had a favorite or one that they liked from this house.
I have one, but it's not a new one. It's called Whetstone, and it's like a really nice. Yeah, it's like salty. It's good, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. It's nice. It's salty, marine, oceanic. It's like a more wearable version of Selmaron by Healy. I like it. I enjoy it a lot, actually.
I actually purchased one after I left there. It was kind of crazy because I almost threw down like $250 that night on one bottle, and then I got home and went on FragranceNet and saw they had it for $90.
Oh my God! Wow. What was it?
Yeah. Male Sauvage.
I did not think FragranceNet had Amarud on there.
Yeah.
No.
And that's the worst part. You go on the websites, and unless you search for certain fragrances, they won't pop up. You'll get the Sauvage, the cool water right off the bat, first thing you see.
Yeah.
But you have to actually search for things niche by name, and they have it there and for good prices. But most people won't hear it until they get to page 187, and then they'll run into stuff like this for 90 bucks isn't bad for something like that.
No. Man.
Yeah.
And this is huge honey oud, and it's a fresh version of it. It's not too thick, but it's not too airy either. And people love it. People ask about it when I wear it too. And it's a beautiful bottle. So
Yeah. Man, sounds good. Might want to go look it up now.
and it's 100 mil for 90 bucks.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I smelled almost, well, I spent quite a bit of time in there where they had that line. I smelled everything. I didn't think of anything that I can remember that came across as that I didn't enjoy. That's a really good house.
Yeah. And the Golden Oud just came to the U.S. because from what I understood, it was all overseas somewhere. So those they just brought to the States, and that's why they were so expensive.
Okay. Wow.
Well, guys, we got 4 minutes left because I said we were only going to do this for 2 hours. That makes it 9 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
So has anybody got any closing remarks? Like, Anna, did you see that you have a mystery man in the comments that is all about what's the name of your channel? He is definitely enthralled with you. Did you hear that?
Her channel is One Accord Fragrance Reviews.
Yeah, that's right. You can see her there every week.
Everybody that loves the dimples, One Accord Fragrance Reviews.
Here, let them know.
My subscribers.
See that?
I can't even, where is this? I'm like
Joe
searching through these
Gleason, I
comments.
see, asked, what is your channel name?
Yeah, Joe Gleason.
Oh, well, my channel name is Anna_absolutes. So find me there.
And I
It
thought
was fun talking to you guys. I was kind of scared because I'm not as experienced in fragrance as all of you are, and I was like, "What the hell am I going to talk about with these guys?" I don't know, but
talk about what you like. That's what we're all doing.
Yeah.
You know.
And you've done a great job. You know, I've really enjoyed the fact that you took the time to hang out with us. You've been a great part of the group. So thanks. I really appreciate it.
One day I'm going to know what you guys are talking about, but I learned a lot. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're all on
You're
our
very
own,
welcome.
you know. Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to everybody that's on the panel. To Steve, man, thank you, dude. Rock for taking the time out to do this. Chris from One Accord, man, we've been friends for a while and worked together. I appreciate the fact that you took the time. And my man with the silver lining voice, JC Copland. Man, thank you, brother.
Silver
Yeah, I
in my
appreciate it greatly.
an operation that, yeah, you guys can all do it. No, I
You need to run that infomercial. For this much money, you too can have a voice like mine. And then I show up in the house and punch you in the throat. That sounds just like Jay's now.
You just drink honey all
man. That's right. So, man, like I said, I really appreciate it. Thank you, brother, for showing up, man.
It's
I
been
really
an honor to
appreciate
meet each and every one of you. Like I said, I'm a fan. I watch all your channels. It's been great.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging around.
So,
And again, keep it up. You're a new channel, but you're doing awesome.
Yes.
Hey,
Keep it going.
hey.
We need definitely need more female reviewers because it adds. It's nice to get a female view on a fragrance.
I know. A lot of men have been asking me to do like men fragrances, but I don't know any. So maybe eventually.
You don't
I
have
can understand that.
that's your choice.
I've had people ask me to review female fragrances. I'm like, I don't know how to describe them. I don't know how to judge them. So I just kind of leave that one alone. Yeah.
You broads would love this one.
That's right. And I have guys like me showing up to come and talk to you. Wear this all day. Right here, people. But yeah, thanks everybody. I appreciate it so much. You guys really, your friendship and your participation means a world to me. So thank you.
Thank you, James.
So with that being said, we have cracked our 2-hour mark. So I'm going to cut this off now. Jay, you stay safe. Everybody stay home, stay safe. And I'll talk to you all later. Once again, thanks for participating.
Thank you guys.
Everyone be well. Take care.
Okay, shutting it off.
Yep.
I'm just gonna stay here till everybody's gone. I'm gonna be here by myself.